Hello, hello, my green skins, and I'm kind of surprised that Freerin got beat out by Slayers next. And I kind of like this anime, and a lot of people do. The Slayer series is part of the five big fantasy animes: Slayers, Record of Lotus War, Rune Soldier Louis, Orphan, Sorcerer Stabler Orphan or Stabber Orphan, and the last one is Berserk. If you're talking old school fantasy anime, right there, this is what you're talking about. And I don't know how much I should really go into this as deep as I did in the original episode, but I would say this series has a lot of good moments in it and a lot of fun moments. This is an interesting series because for the majority of it, it's fun, lighthearted. I think all the way up to I think the last like 3 or 4 episodes, does this series get dark? And let's break this bad boy down. Let's start with the acting. So the voice acting in this is pretty stable, except for a couple big problems. And the only reason it's problems is because they are actually using the same voice actors. So we have the same cast who did Amelia, Zelgadis, uh, Lena Inverse, and Gallery, and Sophelia, which shows up later, and then you have your new character, which is Martina, and I hate this character and like this character. That's the funny thing about this. I have such a love hate relationship with this character because she's really trying her best. And I know this voice actress from a couple other animes, but the problem is they have her play multiple roles, and one of them's the same character with a little girl, and the little girl is she talks like this, and it's very kind of like this. I talk like this, and it's like no, don't, no, no, that's awful. And she's in the same room with Martina, so it's kind of like why'd you do that? Like, yeah, no, they use her a couple times to some comedic effects, and that's kind of how this show kind of does it. And I'm not hating on that, but it is kind of funny they did that. I don't know if they didn't just couldn't get an extra voice actress for this point or what, but I'm kind of surprised. Which is funny because this show is kind of an improvement on every other level. And so, yeah, let's get to the improvements when it comes to animation. So, the animation for this series, and the reason I'm not going to do story, is because of how much of an improvement, and it is a better improvement. I'm not seeing a lot of the errors. And again, back in the day, anime had some really glaring errors. And it's kind of funny to see animation now for anime and animation back then. Animation now is phenomenal compared to animation back then. But looking at it from back then, this is still very, very good. And it's definitely a step up from Lena's arm guards there, her gauntlet, not gauntlets, her pauldrons, to even the added effect. They add some extra items to her, like the little gems of power. They really do work. And I like that. And that's stuff that I enjoy. When you do stuff like that, it works perfect. And we need more stuff like that. Unfortunately, it's not perfect. Again, I think Amelia and Lena have the same body type, and Amelia does not have the same body type as Lena. And they're different characters, height wise, stature. So it's kind of like, wait a minute, they kind of look the same. And there are a couple other moments that the animation really falls through, but it's an improvement. I can't remember if the animation is perfect in Try. I know Revolution R, they did a really good job, but that's like that new and improved animation. So it's kind of one of those unfortunate thing. So this is a drastic improvement in some ways. And some ways I do feel like it lost some stuff, but this is a really big improvement. And other than a couple little errors I see, like there's one error where it makes Amelia look way younger. And there's like little bits and pieces. It's not awful, but it's not great. And the monster design in this is pretty good. They don't generify. Like you don't see a lot of the generic monsters like you did in the first series. So yeah, no, overall this was a solid series in a lot of ways for animation wise for back in the day. And yeah, I'm impressed. Especially because I think the series had a better budget, but it didn't have a great budget. Like this show really did improve and step up. Next, let's get to the story. The series can be broken down into three parts. There's part 1 and part 2. So we'll start with part 1. Part 1 starts in the kingdom of Zona. Zona has been causing some problems. Lena's there with Gallery to munch out and after defeating some bandits, and she's basically there to spend her money. Amelia shows up because this kingdom has been causing problems for other kingdoms around it, and this is going to start a war. Seirun does not want another war. They're not a fan of war in any way, shape, or form because her father's a pacifist and he's the crown prince. So, because of this, she runs into Lena, but she's like, oh, I gotta go bye-bye, and she takes off. Now, she ends up meeting Martinez, our fifth character in this one. This one has way more characters in it than the other one. Martinez is the reason the kingdom's causing problems is in her mind. Well, she wants to conquer the world for one reason, to give it to the monstrous Zelma Gustar, a monster she created herself. It's kind of funny. I actually kind of find that amusing that they did that. And they hired Zelgadis, the mysterious mercenary, or what was it, spell sword. A mysterious swordsman, that's what he wants to be called. He's there to try to get his body back. And because he heard they have this ancient text called the Clare Bible. The one thing that kind of travels through this entire season of Slayers is that. Getting his hands on the Clare Bible. And the Clare Bible's their Grand Gamora. It's basically the infinite knowledge type of thing. He's hoping that their version of the Clare Bible will give him the knowledge he seeks to get his body back. Which turns out that they were lying. And it's actually just information on how to create golems. So he's not too happy about that, and he turns when Lena decides to show up and cause problems. They summon their great and all-powerful super golem, which was not maintained in many years, and almost blows up. Lena decides to hit it with a dragon slave to stop it from causing more damage, which works. Unfortunately, it destroys the kingdom of Zona. Zona is now bankrupt, and their capital is gone. Martinez seeks revenge. And next episode, we kick into the episode that introduces our sixth character, Zelos, the mysterious priest. He's also after the Clare Bible. According to him, he is doing this for one reason only. He wants it so that it's a secret. It's the best way to put it. That becomes his catchphrase. He is doing what he has to do to find out where the Clare Bible is. And in some ways that is his intentions. Well, more along the lines of it's his excuse for following the party around. Now, this is where it gets kind of dark because while they decide to go around looking for the Claire Bible, mainly to get Zelgadis back, which gets dropped after like I think 2 episodes. They go travel to Atlas City, where we get to see why this series just has weird darkness. It's like kind of lighthearted and cutesy, and then like oh it's fun, and then you know evil Mage Guild leader, former Mage Guild leader, basically murdering and kidnapping people and sacrificing their life forces to bring his dead wife back. Unfortunately, it doesn't go well. And all he gets back is the husk, not her, and the essence that wants to die. This also brings us some fun comedic versions where Lena and Gallery choose the right path and choose roast beef over Zelgadis, and Amelia wanting hot pot seafood. No, no, no. Roast beef is the way to go. We all know it. That is truth. But, like, I thought to myself when I saw that episode, I'm like, damn, that's dark. And this seems to be kind of the running moments in this series. It's like, funny, ha ha ha, funny, ha ha ha, then dark. Next episodes we get into are the Seirun arc, where the Seirun arc is basically where Zelgadis basically drops the whole Claire Bible thing and never gets trapped, not being able to change his body back. The Claire Bible ends up becoming Lena's main quest, because during the Seirun arc, where they're dealing with the fact that someone's trying to kill Amelia's father, it ends up going to be her way to try to find a way to stop the Chaos Dragon. Yes, I know he's known as the Dragon Demon King or Demon Dragon King, Gov. This super powerful demon monster who wants to kill her for some reason. She can't figure out why he wants her dead. Considering the fact Gov is basically turning on the monsters and trying to conquer the world. And other than that, Lena is stopping him by preventing the Mage Guild, stopping a couple of his plans. There shouldn't be any reason for him to want her dead. This clicks into her getting her ultimate weapon, the Ragna Blade. It's number 3 in her super-powered item spells. The Ragna Blade, the Dragon Slave, the Ragna Blade, and the Giga Slave, which is her ultimate spell. And this also comes into the information as we travel on with her, going through a lot of shenanigans, a tennis match, a pop idol scene, and them basically following Zelos' lead to find Claire Bible. Well, they don't find Claire Bible. They find all this other stupid stuff. And Zelos is basically leading them, sending them on wild goose chases. And after a bunch of them, they end up finding out that if Lena uses the Giga Slave and she loses control, it will destroy her existence. It'll destroy all existence. It'll destroy the world. And so Lena's like, well, shit, I can't cast that spell, even though that might be the only way to defeat Gov. I hate that spelling, by the way, Gov. It's like G-R-A-V, Gov. I wonder what that means. If that has meaning in Japanese. Leave a comment if that has meaning in Japanese. After that, we get into the more darker story, which brings back my favorite girl, best girl in my opinion, Sophilia. I like this character. Also brings back, what's his name now? Oh, damn it, I forgot his name. This brings back a previous character from the previous season, the Hellblade wielding or Howling Blade wielder, Oh, what's his name? It's not Zelos. It starts with a Z too. Shit, I can't remember. He ends up joining their ranks to go face the new enemy for Brizzo. And I mean, this is a dark part of the series. Like, Fabrizzo creates, brings back Cyrad, the kingdom that gets destroyed in the original story, and they have to go there. And I mean, this gets dark. Like, Lena murders a child, technically. Even though technically he's not dead. Like, he's like a form of undead. But she still strikes out and hits a child in the face. Kind of messes Lena up. Rightfully so. I'd be a little messed up too if I just murdered a kid. I mean, wow, that gets dark. And this leads to Lena using her magic to cast the Gigaslave to try to get rid of Fabrizzo because he's basically murdering everyone she cares about. And after using this, Fabrizzo destroys her body, which creates a aura of darkness that devours her. Luckily or unluckily, they come to the realization of what the Gigaslave is. You ain't summoning the Lord of Chaos. You're not summoning the power from the Lord of Chaos, like the Dragon Slave, the Gob Burst, all these other spells that basically, pull from energy that these creatures call from. No, 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 no. You call the Lord of Nightmares. And he ain't exactly happy to be there. And in his body, in the body of Lena Inverse, he's there. The mother of all creation. Well, I guess technically the mother of all creation, is a girl. And she nukes Fabrizzo. Takes him right out of the equation. And then this gets to my most hated moment. And that is the kiss between Lena and Gallery, which they instantly eradicate from the episode, which is kind of funny that they did that. It's kind of like, hey, we got this. We're gonna have this kiss. Okay, great. No, actually, we're not going to, and they drop it. It's kind of funny they did that, and they totally don't remember. Cut to Martinez and Zelos. That's his name. No, it's not Zelos. Oh, what is his name? There's so many Z's in this freaking show. Cut to the swordsman and Martinez getting married and him becoming the new king of the bankrupt kingdom of Zona. And they go on their adventure. And they basically decide to, the four adventurers, including Sophiliel, who, Jesus fuck, what a tragic story character. I mean, how would you feel if your father came back from the dead and he's writhing in pain and can't feel anything and he's being used as a puppet? Like, fuck me, that's dark. They continue on their adventures, which unfortunately doesn't show Sophilio back in the franchise until the series after Try. So what do I think of this story? It's a good story. It has a lot of Japanese moments. We won't talk about that. But it is a good and solid story. I think they did a great job. It's not perfect, but I can't say it's bad either. Next, let's get to the music. So, there is some great music in this season. They use some of the original music, but I mean, there's some really good music in here I kind of like. And I think they did a great job. I don't want to say too much because, again, it's not perfect compared to what exists now. I hate to say it, I keep going back to that. The music that exists now is next level shit. The music that existed back then is, when you get good music, you get good music, and that's best way to put it. I enjoyed it, and that's the best way to put it. So, what am I going to rate this show? Okay, this show has always been Slayers Next has been a great season. It's considered actually in a lot of people's opinion the best of the series. And my biggest problem is always going to be that ending. I really don't like the romance cut with Lena and Gallery because of like how they retcon it almost instantly. And then they kind of hint at it in the season after. They also bring an Amelia Zelgadis thing there, and I don't like that one either because I think Amelia's like 13, and I kind of don't like that either. But that's just kind of how Slayers Next kind of went all over the place. I actually like Sophia, and it's like I'm not kind of wanting to ship Gallery and Sophia, but I like her character. I like the character in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, Lena and her have always been kind of an interesting combination. As for the Martinez character, I don't know how to feel about her character. Her character is both fun and unfun in some ways. It's one of those things where I like her and don't like her. Like, there's some funny moments, like when they start using the monstrous Zumagu star as a talisman because someone has activated a protection spell on it, so she starts using it to defend. They use they use her as a human shield. That's a fun moment. There's some fun moments. That's the thing about this. There are some great moments, and then there's some, not great moments. And then it just goes way dark. And then it just comes back, then it goes dark again. It's not bad. And I don't think people should hate on this. Oh, excuse me. The fun of doing these in 5 in the morning. I have the most energy at that time. I honestly think this is a 7.9. Now, the big question's going to be, what am I going to rate Slayers Try? Because a lot of people think that is the worst season of Slayers. And there are those who say the series after this is still better than Slayers Try. So I'm going to have fun with that. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. I'd like to thank everybody who's been listening in on me rant and rave, my insomnia fits as I watch anime until 5 in the morning. Please like, sub, and subscribe. I appreciate everyone who's been listening in. And we hope to have more people, and we hope to see you all next on the next Orc Work Chief Reviews. Have yourselves a very good morning.